Get to it. Hang tight. All right, we live. Okay. All right. We live. Let's get everybody going here. Let's get the family together. Friday night. Let's go. Let's get everybody up here, man. Let's get it going, man. Let's run it back from the top. Because I do believe we are live now. All right, run it back from the top, man. All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Friday evening. Another edition of KnicksFanTV's Bleacher Report simulcast. CP the franchise on the Solo Dolo. On today's show, is today the day that the Block Nets monster returns. Mitchie making his debut in Memphis. Plus, we're going to preview the Knicks' upcoming matchup with the Memphis Grizzlies. Updates on the buyout market. We have some, some updates that I want to share with you as far as the Knicks' pursuit of that 15th and final roster spot. Plus, LeBron James last night making some controversial statements about the whole face of the league. We've been, having these debates about the face of the league, who's it going to be, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about all that, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. It's going to be another one of them ones, man. Happy Friday to Knicks Nation. Salute to everybody on the grind, wherever you guys are at. Throw a hashtag grind in the chat and lock in as we get ready for Knicks and Grizzlies tip-off at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's get it going. All right, man. Salute to everybody once again, man. Supposed to start the show a little bit early. We're supposed to start at 5:15, but, life be lifing sometimes, as they say. So, had to take care of some things, take care of a few fires, but nevertheless, we are here because the show must go on. So yeah, let's get to it. Mitchie. Could this be the day? I do believe it is, man. I'll let you guys know that earlier this week that today, Friday, was the target to get Mitch back and ready to go in Memphis. He's been, dropping his IG stories. He's out in Memphis right now. He just got a fresh haircut. So I think he's hinting at the fact that he's ready to go tonight. So we should be ready to hear the official word from Knicks PR and from Coach Tibbs that Mitch is going to play. From what we heard all week was that, basically it just depends on how he feels once he's done with practice and all of that. And from what I haven't heard anything to the contrary in terms of, any setbacks, anything like that. So I think the Block Nets monster should be good to go. And as I mentioned to you guys earlier this week, this is going to be a limits restriction. 4 or 5 minutes, get your conditioning in, and you're out. 4 or 5 minutes, and then you're out. So, that's basically how it's going to be for the Block Nets monster, Mitchell Robinson. Make sure my audio's good. If my audio good, everybody in the chat, let me know how the audio sounded right now. Let me know how the audio sounded. I'm pretty sure it's good on my end, but just double check and make sure that I'm coming in crystal clear. CP the franchise, KFTV. On the Bleacher Report, check in, but we are live everywhere, man. Instagram, Facebook, we are live on TikTok, Bleacher Report as well. So that's what we're hearing on the Mitchell Robinson front. Now, as it relates to tonight's game, look, man, I don't expect, we had our guy Chris Vernon on the show yesterday. Shout out to Verno, shout out to Grind City. We had our guy on the show last night previewing the game, and look, don't expect the Knicks to run this team out the gym like they did in that January 25th matchup. If they did, hey, cool. Yeah, we have ourselves a good Friday night. You know what I mean? We turn it into a bum night. But as he mentioned, this Grizzlies team is well rested. They are back to playing good basketball. And when I say they, meaning John Morant. You know what I'm saying? Like John Morant, who, look, you could say Mikal Bridges shut him down in that last matchup on January 25th. But, look like the Grizzlies as a collective just were not on their A game. And it happens in the NBA. It's 82-game season in the regular season. We've seen it. We've seen letdown games by the Knicks plenty of times where they just don't have it. I thought it was one of those nights more so than the Knicks being on point. But hey, give credit to the Knicks. That was one of the last times where they had 30-plus assists as a collective, and they looked pretty damn good out there. Led by Mikal Bridges, who had 28 points in that last matchup and also had 28 points in the Knicks win over the Sixers. So we'll see if Mikal Bridges can carry forward that momentum, because it's going to be an all hands on deck situation tonight. We mentioned Mitchell Robinson potentially coming back. You got Ariel Hukporti, who's going to be out. Huckamania is out 4 to 6 weeks. So the front court becomes much more depleted and work in progress as it relates to Mitchell Robinson. So you figure Precious Achiuwa will be the first big off the bench. You got to hope that Karl Anthony Towns plays tonight, because we don't even know that. Is the big cat playing tonight? Because if he don't play, then you're really in trouble as far as a front court depth standpoint. Remember, there ain't no Jericho Sims. They sent the simulation to Milwaukee, and he's getting a lot of playing time right now, especially with Bobby Portis suspended for taking the PEDs or whatever, banned substance. Porter said he thought he was taking Toradol. All right, but okay, buddy. And so, gotta hope that Town starts. If he does, we'll be in better shape. You could bring Precious off the bench, and then you bring Mitchie in there, get his cardio in, and then go from there. Thing about Memphis, I think they're really gonna be trying to put the Knicks in a track meet tonight and have them boys running. I think they're gonna do that. So the Knicks have to be very careful here. Take care of the basketball. You know, they were too sloppy in that game in Philly where Maxey and George brought them back. Got to take care of the basketball, because Memphis will get out. They'll turn you over, and they'll like to get out in transition and get their buckets that way. I think this is another big Jalen Brunson night. I'm expecting another big game from the captain. So I think that'll be a big one for Jalen Brunson. Mikal Bridges is going to have to step up as well. And then, how do they handle Memphis's depth? We heard Chris Vernon talking about that Memphis team. Taylor Jenkins, he goes 10, 11 deep into the bench. So they're going to be throwing fresh legs at the Knicks in waves. They have some capable three-point shooters out there. When it comes to Desmond Bane, you got Luke Kennard. Now, Desmond Bane and G.G. Jackson are questionable for this game. So we'll see who the Grizzlies tried out there. But nevertheless, you're going to have to respect them. On the road, they're going to be looking for revenge. So let's see what happens there. Now, as far as the buyout market, let's talk about the buyout market for a second. Today is the day where the Knicks can technically sign somebody off of the buyout market who's been waived. They can go out there, sign TJ Warren. They can go out there and sign Chuma Okeke from the G League. They can go out there and sign these guys. So let's take a look at what happens today. Now, the reason why we haven't heard anything so far today, this could be interesting, because according to our guy Yossi Goslin, he's our resident cap guy, the Knicks can wait until tomorrow to sign somebody and then still have the ability to sign an additional player by the end of the season. So that could get interesting. We might hear something tomorrow where they sign somebody and then go ahead and bring up somebody else by the end of the season. And one of the things, I misspoke on this. I said this a couple of times, and it was an error. The deadline for a player to be eligible for March 1st only applies to players who were waived. So anybody they pick up off the waiver wire, they have to do that between today and tomorrow for that player to be eligible for the playoffs. However, I called Yossi this morning. They can sign TJ Warren, they can sign Chuma Okeke, or they can sign Moses Brown. I'm going to talk about that. They can sign those guys later, and they'll still be eligible for the playoffs if they needed them to be. Now, this was because a lot of you guys, we're talking about why did they let Moses Brown go? Why did they let him go? And look, it's a fair point. This is a fair point as it relates to Moses Brown, who dropped 20 points, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks last night, a plus 14 for the Mavericks last night. Went absolutely crazy. But here's the thing. Here's where the CBA gets everybody. Because the Mavericks can't sign Moses Brown until April. He's on a 10-day contract with the Mavericks. So they can't even afford to keep him. So here you have it. You got this young man in here doing work. He's almost like a substitute. And they're going to lose him. So he had a monster night. He was in the Knicks G League squad. But he's on his way out. I believe today's his last day in Dallas. So according to our guy Ian Begley, he said something worth noting due to financial restrictions. Dallas can't sign Moses Brown to a second 10-day deal. The center is among players on the Knicks' radar for the 15th spot, per people familiar with the matter. Moses Brown from New York went to Archbishop Malloy, spent the time with the Westchester Knicks. So today's his last day in Dallas. So the Knicks can go out there, go get Moses Brown, and then wait until later to go out there and maybe get a TJ Warren if they needed to, or go get a Chumo Keke. I called Bobby Marks today. Matter of fact, he called me because we're going to be getting back out there in Vegas for Summer League for the Sports Business Classroom. So we're just getting some early planning going. And I asked Marks, I'm like, what's up with the buyout? What's going on? He said, yeah, Moses Brown, Dallas can't sign him. They can't afford to keep him. So don't worry. You know what I mean? That could be the option there to help with the front court depth. Because I know a lot of you guys were upset about, the fact that they let him go. They let him walk out the door. But at that time when they let him go, they couldn't afford to sign him. That's just how the CBA works. Yeah, people in the chat, the CBA sucks. It absolutely sucks, man. Absolutely sucks. So that's that. And as he said, yeah, his 10-day contract, according to Bobby Marks, his 10-day contract expires on Saturday. Mavericks are working with a tight budget. After the Brown 10-day, Dallas will be $51,000 below the first apron. They will need to wait until April to sign a 15th player. So the Mavericks got to wait until April to go get Moses Brown or anybody of that caliber. So they basically had a guy come through, put in work in AD's absence. They got Gafford out as well. They got Lively out as well. So they needed a lot of big man help. And that's how that CBA is working. So Moses Brown likely to find a new home, and it could be here in New York. He was with the Pacers earlier this season, put up a double-double, and then got cut again. So it's just hard to, it's got to be a humbling experience, frustrating experience for some of these guys trying to make it in the league. And you go out there, you go in like that, and it's still not good enough. So there it is. No update from Ian Begley yet on Mitchell Robinson, but like I said, I think it's likely that he's going to play. They moved him up to questionable, and as I said this week, today was the target for him to play. It was only a matter of how he felt today. And, hey, he's out there on the gram, styling and profiling. So I think he's going to play, but nothing confirmed just yet. But I think he's going to play, man. I think he's going to play. As we talk about this Knicks versus Memphis game, and hey, if you guys want to call in, man, call us up in the KFTV Discord. You guys know the deal, man. You guys can call us up, let us know your thoughts on today's game, the buyout market, whatever you want. How about this? How about this? Shout out to our guy Chris Vernon, man. That show last night went crazy viral. Everybody was feeling it. Great guest for us here on KnicksFanTV. Chris Vernon covers the Memphis Grizzlies for Grind City Media. He's also part of the Ringer NBA Mismatch show. So earlier this morning, I wake up, I see the notification, as he always does, the Rhyme Animal Chuck D retweeting last night's show and bigging up Chris Vernon, bigging up myself and Alex. And Chris Vernon on his show talked about what an honor it was to be mentioned by the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. So I'll play this clip right here. This is from the Chris Vernon show this morning. Shout out to Chris Vernon. Here we go.
Last night, I told you guys that a lot of the Knicks outlets had reached out to me, and the one that I was going to do was CP the Franchise and my man Alex.
Yeah,
they do
right.
KnicksFanTV. And so I went on with them last night. They were great. And I went and did that. And then went to bed last night, woke up, checked my phone, and the first thing I see is Chuck D loving my performance on KnicksFanTV. And when I tell you, I mean, I can't remember the last time I was that shocked and elated about something. Like, there was so many layers to it, right? The first thing is that I did this podcast and Chuck D watched this thing, right?
Right.
And then went out of his way to be like effusive about this. Bro, I love Chuck D and Public Enemy as a kid. I mean, I had all the tapes, I had everything, and he's like if you would have told 12-year-old me that this guy would even know who I was, and it's just a random thing that I happened to do this podcast last night. But that was super cool. That truly made my year.
Yeah, that's kind of dope, bro.
I love the Knicks fans. I do. I love the Knicks fans.
All right, so shout out to Verno, man. Threw us a shout out. Threw the Rhyme Animal Chuck D a shout out. It was a good show last night, man. Make sure you guys tap into that. Even after tonight's game, if we talked about the outlook on both teams, where he thinks the Knicks are going to be headed. We talked about where Memphis is going to be headed. We had a good show, but he's a good host overall, So that type of guest who's already a podcast host, they know how to vibe on a podcast because he's been a host. Some guys come from the beat world, some guys come from behind the camera, so they're not as charismatic, if you will. Shout out to Yo Ed Franchise Channel Member Fight Out Super Chat says Embiid out for the season same day that Mitch comes back. That's karma. Yeah, that's a fact, sir. You're absolutely right. Listen, I'm not here to kick dirt on Joel Embiid. I'm sure he's having a hard time right now, but hey, he's a dirty player. He cost Mitchell Robinson. We're here right now waiting for Mitch to play because of Embiid's dirtbag play in the playoffs. Because that's what it was. It was a dirty play. And so, yeah, some people say it's karma. But listen, I mean, from the time they started the season and he was already out, I said it's only a matter of time before they shut him down for the season. It was only a matter of time before they shut Embiid down for the season. So that's just what it is. That's Philly's problem. They can figure that out with Embiid and Paul George. We got bigger fish to fry, man. We got to beat this Memphis team. We got to come back home. We got Chef and the boys. We got to go to Miami. Miami on Sunday. And speaking of Miami, man, anybody going to the 305 on Sunday, meet me down there. We are getting the band back together. We getting the family back together for the Knicks versus Heat game. We were having a pregame meetup down in South Beach, down in Miami, not South Beach, down in Miami, across the street from the stadium at Black Market Bayside, 401 Biscayne Boulevard. And that's going to be the pregame meetup at 3 o'clock. All right, so go to KFTVmeetup.com to get your tickets. Free, just RSVP. We just want to know the head count so we can send it to the we just want to know the head count so that we could send it to the restaurant and let them know how many people to expect. Because they know when the franchise pull up, it's a vibe. Last year, we had 100 people. The Heat fans couldn't even get a table last year. I kid you not. You know what I'm saying? I tell you all these stories because they're all true. We had 100 people. The bro god said I'm out there. We had 100 people. Inside, outside, orange and blue. Take over. So it was a great time. It was a vibe. And we'll be back out there this Sunday at 3 o'clock. Game starts at 6 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out there. Go to KFTVmeetup.com to RSVP. All right. Okay. All right. Let's just refresh a little bit on Begley here. See if any Mitchie news is out. Game time at 8 o'clock. After this, we got JD Sports Talk. We got Young Sports Talk. It's going to be in the building for play-by-play. Knicks versus Memphis play-by-play. But before that, we're going to do our tribute to the late, great Anthony Mason, man. Rest in peace to Mace. 10 years ago today, he passed away. And over the years, one of the best things about this platform and this journey that we've been on, Joe G on the TikTok, I see you. One of the best things about this journey is that we have so much dope content in the archives. And a lot of the content, a lot of people haven't seen. I mean, we're up to damn near 89,000 subscribers. So I know for a fact there's a lot of content out there that we put out in the past that people just have not seen. So what I did was I stitched together, I made like a mini documentary about his career. I have an interview from his son. I brought his son on, and I have other more like dope stories from my guy Chris Herring, who wrote the book Blood in the Garden, the history about the 1990s Knicks. So I put all that together in like a 30-minute video that I'm gonna stream after this. Get y'all ready for the game, and we'll hail up the late great Anthony Mason, man. So hopefully you guys can stick around for that, especially if you haven't seen it, because those are some good stuff, man. I'm showing a picture here of this is me, Clyde, and Mace. I told you I was gonna show you this picture. I was looking for it for a while on my computer. This was from Clyde's Wine and Dine, man. Clyde's Wine and Dine, young Mace. This was like a random night. I think this was. I don't even think the Knicks were playing. This might have been just like Monday Night Football. I think I just pulled up. See me, I got the orange and blue tie on, always in a tire. This is pre KnicksFanTV days. And Mace and Clyde, man, great people, man, great people. Tell you, I rock with Clyde to this day. And Mace was he was classy, class act, and we certainly miss him, man. New York to the core. Shout out to J Tap, $10 super chat says, next week I'm gonna follow the Knicks for the West Coast trip. Lakers, Clippers, Kings, Portland, and maybe Golden State if my son wants to go. I can't wait. Wow, that's great, man. Shout out to J Tap. Was hoping to make it out there this year. Shout out to the Left Coast Knicks fam. We're gonna catch up with them next year for sure. But Jay, enjoy it. And if you have any content, make sure you tag us on socials and we'll be sure to share that. BC, what year's the picture from? Well, Mace passed away in 2015. So this has to be like maybe 13, 14. Where was I even at, man? Where was I even at? I'm not even sure. You know what I'm saying? Hang tight 1 second. My barber's calling me. Hold on. That was my son's barber. My son's barber's looking for instructions. Had to give him some quick instructions. But yeah, man, it's a classic photo, man. One of my favorite memories of all time. Yeah, this had to have been probably 2013, man. So, because this was before I moved down to Atlanta for grad school. So yeah, this was before that. This is definitely before that. 2012, 2013. Young franchise, man. You know what I mean? Way less gray hairs. Way less gray hairs. I'm still trim though. You know what I mean? Still trim. I'm fighting off the dad bod, man. I'm trying to get in the gym, stay in shape, stay active. You know what I mean? Do my dips and whatnot. You know, this is to stay fit. So yeah. All right. So next thing I wanted to talk about was this whole LeBron thing. You know, LeBron really set off a firestorm yesterday with his comments on, the whole face of the league stuff. And I thought it was very interesting and relevant to what we're talking to relevant to us. And I'll tell you why. So this was LeBron after the Lakers game against the Timberwolves. They asked him for his reaction to the whole face of the league thing. This was what LeBron had to say here. Here we go.
No, well, Ann already said he don't want it.
I know.
Yeah, Ann said he ain't trying to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
And, Channing Frye said it the other day, too, it's unfortunate, but, I don't know. Why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that, that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day
run that
basis
part
shit
back
on
real quick.
I don't know. Why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that, that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis shit on everybody? That responsibility, it's just weird. There's weird energy from the people that, I don't know. But Channing, he said it. He said it perfectly. Couldn't said it no better, but Ant said he don't want it. Obviously I didn't ask for it, but I knew there was a responsibility for me, not only to my family, my friends, my community, and whoever that was going to follow my journey throughout my career. Not only in Ohio when I started there, but all over America and all over the world when I traveled all over the world. So.
All right, so that's LeBron. Then he starts to, toot his own horn and all of that. But he said, Ant-Man don't want it. But what he said was, why do you want to be the face of the league when most of the conversations are shitting on the league on a day-to-day basis? And look, a lot of time we want to criticize LeBron and he's this, he's that, he's all about himself and all of that. He's right to a certain extent. He's right in that the national media conversation typically is negative about the league. You look at First Take, you look at Inside the NBA, it's negative. Charles, Kenny, Shaq, crap on the league. This is not my era. The game is whack. The All-Star game is whack. There's too many threes. So, to a certain extent, he is right. But that is the issue with national media. That is the issue with national media, and that is why platforms like KnicksFanTV exist. Because the diehards don't care about that. We're not going to Candace Parker to hear her takes on the Knicks. No offense. We know you've accomplished a lot in the league. But every time she opens her mouth about the Knicks, you can tell she's not watching. Stephen A. Smith, same thing. He don't even know who's on the rosters. And we're supposed to take that seriously? This is why independent media has been on the rise. Because the diehard can see through the nonsense. They don't want to hear about who's the GOAT every single day. They don't want to hear about, after one game, oh, this team's winning the championship, they're winning the championship. For the casual fan, sure, right? First Take still does big ratings. I don't watch, but it still does big ratings. Inside the NBA does big ratings. I watch them, though, for comedy, right? I'm not watching Inside the NBA to be enlightened by some analysis. I want to see Shaq get pushed into the Christmas tree. I like that. I like to laugh. Who's going to get to the board first, right? I'm not going to learn anything new about my team in particular. So LeBron is right. But it's a lot of it is the former players themselves that are crapping on the game on a daily basis. Then for some reason, TNT decides it's a good idea. Let's bring Draymond Green in here on his off time to liven up the mood a little bit. So you got Draymond Green getting into the mix, talking about absolutely nothing. I've got rings, and this player sucks. And so, a lot of these networks, they run after the former players. We want this guy. And the former players jump on and feed into the negative cycle. You're learning nothing. Now, there's a lot of players who I really respect, who talk that talk. They break down the game, thorough analysis. I big up my guy Jamal Crawford every single time. Professional, breaks it down, story tells, got respect all around the league. Jamal Crawford is one of them. Antonio Daniels. Those of you that have SiriusXM, check out my guys Antonio Daniels. I work for SiriusXM NBA Radio part-time basis. Antonio Daniels is one of the best in the sport. Former player. Dennis Scott, Steve Smith, my guy Quentin Richardson. On this platform, you guys have heard Stephon Marbury. I rock with Starbury. I take his word over anybody when it comes to breaking down the game. But a lot of these networks, they are going after the sensationalism for their own survival. And it's not just sports. Take a look at legacy media all around. What's happening in our news channels, political channels. It's very few that are just calling it like it is. It's sensationalism. It's entertainment. They're putting the panels together with the people that are going at it with each other. You know, half of them are babbling, half of them lying because they want the clicks. Everybody's fighting for the clicks, for survival. Why? Because the consumer is cutting the cord. They're niching down based on their interests, and the independent media are grabbing a lot of attention. This is why we're here. KnicksFanTV, 8 years in, close to 90,000 subscribers. I'm so proud of it. So proud of the people who support. So proud of my team who support. We got a machine running behind this. So that's a big part of the problem. Nostalgic Nick in the chat said the youth aren't interested. But there's so many on the independent scene that are doing such a great job. Like LeBron James, he's talking about how, the narrative is this, that. Check out my guys at Laker Nation. Forget us. Check out my guys at Laker Nation. They got almost 500,000 subscribers. My guy Trevor Lane does a fantastic job breaking down the game, covering the news. These teams should be granting more access to the independent content creator to spread the narrative, to spread the message. Bring your players to these platforms. You got Trevor. You got Basketball Breakdown. My guys at Knicks Film School. Tim Grangis. The Celtics got a ton of independent content creators that do a great job. I can go on and on. Every single team. My guy Brady Hawk, Miami Heat. 5 Reasons. Check him out. That boy's like 20 years old, breaking it down like the gospel. Nasty. So on the independent scene, the reason the independent scene is on the way up, because the diehards know where to go. We're niching down. We don't need national TV to talk about the game in a positive way because we have our own channels and are doing it on a professional level. Yeah, we could have fun. Yeah, we could debate. Yeah, we could do all of that. But we getting into the nitty gritty over here. So, in a way, he is right. But that's just the state of media. Like, if I'm ESPN, simple thing to do, partner up with The Athletic. You bring on the beat writers, because now all these beat writers now are getting in on the video side. See, everybody's out for the survival, right? You can't just rely on typing up a article. You got to get on video. Partner up with The Athletic, and when you're covering these teams, you want to talk about the Lakers, bring on Jovan Boa, bring on so-and-so, bring on James Edwards from the Athletic to talk about the Knicks, bring on Fred Katz. These guys should be partnering with The Athletic to bring on the guys who cover these teams on a daily basis. That way, we don't have to hear Stephen A. Smith be babbling just to be wrong because he's too lazy to go to his research guy and tell me, hey, give me the facts on these guys. I mean, it's ridiculous. A media powerhouse like ESPN, you still got guys that don't know what they're talking about. There's no excuse for that. Bring on the guys that cover the team on a daily basis. I think part of the reason they don't do that is because a lot of these guys are just not that entertaining and compelling because they need the entertainment value to get the ratings and to get the money. So they're in a tricky spot. But on the independent scene, you got a number of people you can go to. Shout out to my guy P. Those guys at Enjoy Basketball, Kenny and them. Those guys are talking that talk, man. And they're fun. They cater to the younger generation. So, it's an interesting debate. Now, on the whole face of the league thing, who do you guys think it should be? Everybody says Tatum wants it. Should it be Tatum? This was an interesting take here by Cowherd's another one who's he just says anything, throws it at the wall, see what sticks. But I actually don't think he had a bad thought here on Tatum. I'm trying to get through it. Shout out to the Ryan, man. I'm on the Chuck D's Twitter here. Where's the Cowherd take? Cowherd had an interesting take on Tatum that I think I agree with. Let me pull it up. It's on Chuck's page here. So to everybody in the chat, we talking that talk tonight. All right. This was Cowherd on Tatum. I'm gonna play the soundbite and let's react to it. Here we go.
Just think about this. Close your eyes unless you're driving and listening on radio. Let's close our eyes. Close our eyes. Think about Magic Johnson. You can see the smile. Think about Michael. You can see that cocky grin. Think about LeBron. You can see the imagery. Pre-game, chalk. You can close your eyes and there's images with stars. Close your eyes now and do it with Tatum. I don't see anything. 26 a night? I don't see anything. Just think about this.
All right. Doesn't see it. I don't really see it either. But, I think we could be thinking about this wrong, where we're trying to put it on one guy. It was Magic and Bird. It was Michael's league. It was LeBron's league. Maybe it's just a collective that carried the league after LeBron and Steph go and KD goes. He's right in that, Tatum, you gotta, a lot of the, when we did have faces of the league, so to speak, in whatever sport, charisma had a lot to do with it. A lot of these guys in this younger generation, they don't really have that charisma. They want to put it on Ant-Man, but Ant-Man, he don't got the maturity. He's not ready yet. Y'all saw that clip. The kid was like, Ant-Man, come to London. Ant-Man was like, hell no. You can't be face of the league, man. Ant-Man said, nah, man. So Ant-Man ain't ready. He's not really he's not really, mature enough yet. Christopher Blake says we never really had a face. Absolutely we did. LeBron's been the face of the league for his entire career. It's been LeBron's league. The chosen one. Jordan's league. Yeah, you had multiple stars. Right? You had multiple stars. Superstars. You had a lot of superstars, but when you talk about the league, it's about the players. And I think another thing is that, a lot of it was about the dynasties, right? The Lakers dynasty, the Celtics dynasties, Bird, the Great White Hope, Magic. Spurs? No, because Duncan he wasn't charismatic. Duncan wanted to go to work. He was one of the greatest power forwards that ever lived. In the offseason, he's out in the Virgin Islands going for a swim. He don't care about none of that. And that's what Jokic is doing right now. You know what I mean? That's Jokic. You can't build a league around Jokic. He'll never be the face of the league. He don't want it. What did Jokic tell you about the All-Star game? He said, we ain't playing hard. We're never going to play hard. All right. He can't be face of the league. He wants to get his championship, go home to Serbia, drink some beers, and watch the horses. There's just nobody who has that, energy anymore. Ant-Man, too immature. He's still getting into trouble. He got a little stupid technical, got thrown out the game last night. He's suspended for tonight. Could it be Wemby? Could it be Cooper Flagg? Luka Doncic, when LeBron leaves and Luka takes over in LA, maybe. He could have the marketing machine behind him. Or could it be Tatum? Tatum's got the clean image. But I think, part of being the face of the league was the charisma, the championships, and the flash. These guys just don't really have that. Maybe it's just a different day. Somebody says it's going to be SGA. Maybe it'll be Cooper Flagg, man. And Khalid said Zion when he comes to the Knicks. Zion's about to be the face of Chick-fil-A. Shout out to Chick-fil-A. Nothing against them. I like Chick-fil-A. Chief So says, keep the TikTok lives. Yeah, man, we up. We trying to be up to date, you know? Trying to be up to date. So we got the TikTok on the phone, and then we live everywhere else. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, Facebook, and now Bleacher Report. So we literally live everywhere you can be live. And we on Twitch. We on Twitch as well. So we try to keep up with the whippersnappers, man. We're trying to be trendy. We on the TikToks. So, yeah, it's an interesting debate, man. I'm not one of those people who, like, criticize every single thing LeBron does. Like, when he was with the Heat, I was hating him only because I'm a Heat hater. And I was tight that he never came to the Knicks. But once he left the Heat, I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him to win the championship in Cleveland and with the Lakers. And, I do appreciate everything he's doing right now at the age of 40. Some of you guys say he's on roids. and I'm trying to rise up above that narrative. But goddamn, every time I see LeBron running up and down the court like a gazelle, like he's 30 and not 40, I'm like, damn. Will he ever beat those allegations? I don't know. But I rock with Bron, and I just don't know where the league is going to go after that. CT Fleming says Jalen Brunson might as well. Hey, might as well be JB, man. We got over 1,000 people on the check-in on this pregame. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. This is a Knicks Fan TV and Bleacher Report simulcast that we do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, around 5 p.m. I started a little bit late today. I had to do what I had to do. Okay? We are refreshing, see if we have any Mitchie news. TM, any Mitchie news yet? Any Mitchie news, TM? We're still waiting. Mig on the TikTok, salute to you guys. All right, man, while we're at it, let me salute some sponsors of the show. Let's pay some bills real quick. Let me salute one of my sponsors of the show, man, and that is Mando, whole body deodorant, fellas. Some of you guys need that. Let's keep it real. The weather is getting better here in New York, and so the swamp is coming back out. It's going to get a little bit steamy on them subways. But wherever you at, man, Mando whole body deodorant will hold you down with 72 hours of odor protection. 72 hours. Now, you still got to take a shower. This is not a shower replacement, all right? Don't get carried away. But it will hold you down when you need to, man. Good thing about Mando is that it's aluminum free. So they use quality products, and you can get the deodorant in different styles. So you can get the stick deodorant. They have the liquid deodorant. They got the spray. So you can get it in different forms. And they have a starter pack, which has each of those different styles as well as different scents. So the starter pack is available on shopmando.com. Use our code KFTV for $5 off the starter pack. All right, good deal there. So use our code KFTV for $5 off the starter pack. Okay? Shout out to our guys at Mando once again. All right. Another sponsor I want to shout out is, let me pull this up. Shout out to our guys over at Burgerhead. Shout out to our guys over at Burgerhead. They are on 6th Avenue. Let me get the address correct. Hang on. Let me make sure I'm shouting at my guys correctly here. My guys at Burgerhead, because they got a good deal for you guys. 353 6th Avenue. Shout out to my guys at Burgerhead. On every Knicks game day, if you go to Burgerhead in New York City, you get 20% off your order. All right, 20% off your order at Burgerhead. Ask for my guy Will. My guy Will Urich will take care of you. All right, so those are on every Knicks game day. Stop by Burgerhead, 353 5th Avenue in New York City to get 20% off your order. The burgers are good. We did an episode over there, Knicks in the City Part 1. And yeah, man, shout out to my guy Will Urich and the good people there at Burgerhead. Pulling it up right now on the YouTube side, 20% off on Knicks game days. All right, so there you go, man. So, all right, so after this, we're going to have the Mason Show, and then we're going to get to play-by-play. Okay, TM says check Bondy. Check Bondy. Okay, here we go. Check Bondy. Right before we leave. Hang tight. Checking Bondy. Okay, here we go. Tom Thibodeau says if Mitchell Robinson gets through warm-ups, he'll make his debut. He's gonna play tonight, all right? The Block Nest Monster is coming through tonight. Okay, here we go. He's getting some work in. Hang on for Instagram. Let me show you the video. He's on the court right now, and he's getting it going. Mitchie's getting ready, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Hang on. Let me, there we go. There we go. All right, he's getting some post work in. All right, a little 1-2 move, turnaround jump hook. Mitchie is getting ready. And I need everybody to check my guy Shams, because he didn't credit the proper source who put him on that Mitchie was going to play tonight. Y'all got the notification a couple of days ago. All right? From the number one show for the fans by the fans. All right? So tell Shams he's going to put some respect on my name. I saw him at Summer League last year. If I see him at Summer League this year, I'm going to remind him. All right? So here we go. Block Nest Monster is playing tonight. I think he's going to play. Tibbs says if he gets through warm-ups, he's ready, man. We ready. 5 minutes. 5-minute intervals for the Block Nest Monster. We got JD Sports Talk on play-by-play tonight, 8 o'clock. So, hey, even if you guys are watching the game, play-by-play is a great time to watch along. You know, a lot of you guys have your second screen up when you're watching the game. Join us on the play-by-play show, man. We got a whole big group chat going on. We watch the games together. We got JD Sports Talk calling the game, breaking down a game for you. And then after that, we will have the number one play-by-play show for the fans, by the fans. It's going to be a good night, man. Going to be a good night. All right, so let's do it, man. Happy to be here. D. Grant in the chat says, you guys are getting too hyped over Mitch. You guys need to calm down. Let's go trade D. Grant to the Detroit Pistons, man. We're not here for the negativity. We got our guy coming back. The elder statesman is coming back. Big up to Mitchell Robinson, man. We need all hands on deck. We got these fans that want to just play it cool and in the middle. We're not going anywhere. All this doom and gloom. Y'all want to doom and gloom on the Knicks? Go to Orlando. Shout out to D. Grant. He's been watching the show for a long time. I rock with him heavy. Shout out to D. Grant. Call back anytime. I'm hyped, man. It's Friday night. Mitchie's coming back. We got a Knick basketball game tonight. Come on, man. What's the point of watching a team if you're just going to be Debbie Downers all the time, man? Yeah, have a good one, man. We'll catch up with y'all later. Bleacher Report, we'll see y'all Monday. IG, we'll see y'all, man. Salute, all love. We see you for post-game. TikTok, it's been real. We're going to do this again. Appreciate that, Dylan, on the TikTok. I see you. And, yeah, man, looking forward to tonight. Let's go. Let me check the IG real quick one more time. Okay. All right, man. Yeah, we out of here. Peace.